Good morning, guys. I am Michelle here with Garden Jargon, and I just saw something in the garden I wanted to share with you really quick. It's a quick little tip about tomato trellising. We are growing tomatoes in a row from east to west, and we have a trellis so that we can tie them up on there and trim these tomatoes down to a single stem pruning method so we can get bigger fruit and more fruit instead of lots of bushy leaves and smaller fruit. And we put the trellis up about 1.5 feet from the ground because we don't need support on these baby tomatoes when they're only about 1 foot tall. What we do when they're that tiny is we put bamboo stakes next to them so that they have that little bit of support where they can lean up against it. So in case a storm comes in and kind of gets a little bit windy, that little bamboo stake will support them a little bit. But I wanted to show you kind of what we are doing now because the tomato rows are so far apart from each other that we have to push the tomatoes into the trellis so that they can grow on the trellis. But I wanted to show this to you, so let me flip the camera around. These are the rows. You can see there's tomatoes on either side of this trellis. This trellis is made with chicken wire and T-post, and there is 2 rows. So there's a row of tomatoes down this side, and there's a row of tomatoes down this side. So what we did with this one, you can see the little bamboo stake in there, and that has been its little support system since he's been in the ground. But as you go up the plant, the bamboo stake finally reaches the bottom of the chicken wire, which is right here, and we just stab that bamboo stake in there, and it pushes that tomato plant into the trellis, and now we can tie this to the trellis. Same with this one. We have the bamboo at the bottom of the tomato, so that has been his little support wall throughout the beginning part of the season. And now that he's tall enough, he can reach the trellis. So instead of bending him in a dramatic way, we just looped that bamboo stake inside the trellis at the top, weaved it in and out a little bit at the top, and he still has all that support. So any of the side branches that come out, we can just support there to the chicken wire. Oop, look at that sucker. Let me get him off of there. So I just wanted to share that with you today. That's one way that we do the trellising. And then another friend here, he does the same thing. So he has his tomatoes on this row. He has T-post and welded fence instead of chicken wire, and then another row of tomatoes on this side, and he did the bamboo stakes as well, like you see this one. And that little tomato is still a little small, so he's got to lean it all the way over right there. It's barely reaching, but that's a lot of support right there. And that's how he's doing his wall of tomatoes here. And then Tina's are over here doing the same thing. We are grateful for the rain that we got last week. It really helped us out a lot out here at the Batavia Community Garden. But I wanted to share that tip with you today on how we do the trellising. You don't have to have the trellising all the way down on the ground. You can save it because these tomatoes are going to get at least 6 feet tall. So you see this chicken wire is kind of bent over. So we can actually pull this up and support it with some more stakes if need be, if they get that tall. And they're gonna, because the Lord will bless us. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care and God bless.